It was good. It was just like I guess every other off season I've had. I stayed at home for a couple months in Calgary. Enjoyed actually pretty nice weather for the most part. It didn't get too cold till right after I left, so that was nice. Um, did a few things at home. Was a little busier than usual, but got down to Florida about a month ago, down to Jupiter over at Cressy, and got to work.
You're busier than usual. What were you busy with?
Oh, I mean, a lot of things come up, and especially with the residual from this last year, there was a lot of things in that. That's all good stuff. I tried to kind of take it in stride and still enjoy an off season, but do as much as I could. Some appearances that I wanted to make, that type of stuff. So hopefully that becomes a routine in the off season.
How did you feel exiting the season there in terms of just physically?
Physically,
Yeah.
physically, really, really well. I was really happy, to come out and have the adrenaline going and feel pretty much as good as I'd felt all year in the playoffs was pretty cool. Especially the year previous, dealing with some things and not being able to have a healthy season. I think finishing as strong as I started was really cool and gave me a lot of confidence when I started building up for this season.
So when you look at the innings increase, it just felt like a natural progression at that point in time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I mean, the thing was too. I think years previous, I with playoffs in Rome and spring training and all that kind of stuff, I'd been up to 107 innings before, and then having missed most of spring training last year, it might have actually helped me out on the back end a little bit. So that was nice, and I'm excited to be able to get after it this year, and like I said, hopefully eat a lot of innings.
Do you have to worry about pacing yourself in spring training, knowing?
Uh, no, I think thinking about that, you don't want to take your foot off the gas, right? After seeing a lot of things last year in spring training, you really understand that you got to come in and earn a spot every single year, um, and maybe you don't have to give it everything you've got to get a third out, in your second or third inning of spring training, but you still want to make it known that you're there to compete, and once you're on the mound, once you're in a jersey, that's all you're thinking about is competing, and ultimately that's the only way I'm going to get better, and that's the only way that you're going to get ready for the season. You can't just flick a switch when March 26th or whatever opening day is, and you can't do that every year and show up and just be a different person. So it starts here, and I'm really excited.
What have you thought about the revamped bullpen? You think back to a year ago. I know you guys had a lot of confidence in those guys, but just the moves that Alex has made to shore up the end of ball games for you guys.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it starts with that guy over there. He was smiling at me a minute ago. It's O'Day. When he came back at the end of the year, that was a huge lift for us because he'd been around so much, and we'd seen, things in the media and things on social media that he wasn't around or he was a ghost figure and all this kind of stuff. And to have him come back and pitch like we know he can was pretty cool, and it started there. And then once we went out and, Melanson, Martin, got both those guys, and then Will Smith too. I got to meet him at the All-Star game last year, and everybody. We brought Tomlin back too last night, so I was excited about that. He's my catch partner, so hopefully the magic works again this year.
Do you feel like there's been a lot of success with the club, but the division playoffs, how would you describe that? How would you describe that?
It's exciting. We're lucky. You can look and think, wow, it must be nice to be a team in a division where you're far and away better than everybody else. But at the end of the day, we wouldn't want that. That's what keeps the season interesting for all 6 months. It's the same way it was last year, and it's going to be even more this year. You got basically better teams from the top four, and then Miami's gotten a ton better too. You look at their young rotation, and I think a lot of people are going to be, passing them by in this division, but they're going to be really sneaky on a lot of people too. So that's a lot of games against a lot of teams that are going to be really competitive and trying to be more competitive. Teams that are out there to win. Really right now you have a bunch of teams that expect to win the division, and that's fun. We're lucky to be in that situation.
When the Nationals won it all last year, does that add for you guys a little pressure or a little oomph to to get over that hump?
Yeah, probably. I think seeing what they did wasn't all that surprising to us. I think a lot of teams saw, a wild card team rally and get ahead, but understanding where their rotation was going into the playoffs, it's probably a team you don't really want to face in the playoffs with that rotation. And then when their lineup's hitting, they're as good as any lineup in Major League Baseball, especially with Rendon in the middle of it. It was not all that surprising to a lot of us to watch them go out there and compete. It was, if anything, a little exciting to watch a team from the NL East do that, team that we'd played so many times this year. I do think that adds something that we got it. We can do it.